Visioneers, a division of World Access for the Blind. Our vision is sound. Visionary engineering of activational solutions for blind and sighted people. Please help us teach more blind persons to see with sound by making a secure online donation at visioneers.org. Visioneers presents Seeing with Sound, the science of FlashSonar Echolocation.
Bats are really neat animals, and they have to be able to do everything without relying on vision. And while they're doing this, they're looking for insects, and they're flying several meters per second.
Because the sound a bat makes is beyond the range of human hearing, Simmons uses an ultrasound detector to convert the signals to a frequency we can hear.
So the bats emit sounds and do lots of fast computations in the brain about the arrival time of the echoes coming from different distances. And the trick of sonar is to be able to do these computations quickly enough that you can see the scene before you emit the next sound. Bats actually see with sound.
Perhaps even more astonishing is the fact that some humans are able to do the same thing.
Many of you may have heard me clicking as I came onto the stage with my tongue. Those are flashes of sound that go out and reflect from surfaces all around me. I've developed my brain to use sound instead of light to see by.
Professor Lutz Wiegrieber is an expert in bat echolocation. But now in Daniel, he's been given the unique opportunity to study his first human subject.
Wow, that is just very cool.
Today, Lutz is conducting a series of MRI scans to find out what happens inside Daniel's brain when he echolocates.
For me personally, this has been a really great experience because I've been working on the echolocation of bats and we've only recently started working on echolocation with humans. Now having Daniel here around is like almost being able to talk to a bat.
Inside the scanner, Daniel is hearing virtual echoes. This should enable the team to see which parts of his brain are activated when he echolocates in the real world.
These parts of the principal visual cortex are now taken over by auditory information.
Another car part. You would do the click, and that sound would bounce off of the object, and that would tell you different things about the object.
Echolocation is literally a way of seeing with sound. You are illuminating an environment with bursts of energy, and you receive that energy as it reflects from surfaces all around you, and your brain catches and processes those reflections in terms of images. That is not a tree. It's I don't know what that is. It's a pole of some kind that has flat edges.
It's kind of like my instructor Brian said, it's kind of like fuzzy geometry. You're seeing the outline, you're seeing the shape.
Dr. Mel Goodell is one of several researchers who've studied Daniel and found that while scientists long thought the visual cortex goes dormant when you're blind, Daniel's was full of activity, implying his brain has learned to turn sound into images.
He's going to see things like the texture of objects, the shape of objects, the distance of objects.
The findings brought Daniel a lot of attention. He also landed a pretty sweet nickname. How do you like your nickname, the Batman?
I was at first resistant because I didn't want to be equated to a superhero. Batman, however, is pretty cool. He just is a man who developed his abilities in that sense. We do have something in common. Any brain can learn to do this.
The teacher's a guy called Brian. He's learned to see what's around him by making a clicking noise which bounces off things. By listening to echoes, he can tell where and even what is in front of him. Basically, he's like a human bat.
Brian Bushway. I checked him out on YouTube And I must say, I was a bit skeptical, but I was blown away at his abilities.
It's almost like a superpower.
For 8-year-old Nathan Knipp, who has been blind since birth, the world is his playground, not his obstacle.
I'll show you when I'm gonna hit the sun. That's when I hit the sun.
Much of that has to do with his training in echolocation, or clicking, to hear what's around him. Brian Bushway, also blind, is teaching Nathan the technique.
Still click and pay attention. Keep track of those buildings.
Moved it.
I did, huh?
These skills are things that blind people don't typically have access to. And it's not like somebody comes and then all of a sudden you can do everything. You have to keep working at it.
I was just flabbergasted. I couldn't believe what I was seeing because I didn't think that was ever possible.
It's not a matter of enjoying it more or less, it's about enjoying it differently. You know, it's enjoying it through different vision, through another lens.
We asked him to draw a picture, to recreate from memory the image he got from nothing more than the sound of clicks.
I'll just do a little dash line here.
And remember, he had never set foot in this pavilion before today. The accuracy of the image is uncanny.
Should I say ta-da? Ta-da!
Please help us teach more blind persons to see with sound by making a secure online donation at Visioneers.org.